Last night, while wearing tuxedos, fresh from the dog show.
Shout out to the giant schnauzer.
Yeah. An elite group of statisticians, film gurus, and one guy who kept on singing,
Tom Brady still a GOAT.
fought and toiled and burned the midnight oil to deliver the best segment in all of sports television. It's an honor and a privilege. It's time for a way too early 2025 edition of NFL Tears.
Thank you, as always, for the wonderful introduction, Kevin Wilds. I was a little worried that today's Tears might be a little brief, but luckily, we, for the first time in show history, spent 3 full minutes in the open of the hour tease. And so now we're going to have to tighten it up. So all 32 teams represented again next week. Committee takes a break. Week after, NBA committee convenes. NBA Tears coming your way in March. Bottom of the tiers, the best season. Titans, Browns, Raiders, Giants, Saints, Panthers, Patriots. What does this mean, the best season? The off season. That's the best, for the hope bounds aplenty. T. Higgins and draft picks and cap space and everything changing. And this is the best time of year if you're a fan of those 7 franchises. Franchise QB questions. For Arizona and Jacksonville, it is, can you play like we paid you to play? That's the real question. Those are both high. Kyler's contract now is not as onerous as it once was because it's age. Trevor's is quite onerous, but still. And for the Falcons and the Colts, it is, do we have one? And it might. I'm not doubting Michael Penix, but 2 games, we have no idea. And so, real franchise quarterback questions. More than a glimmer of hope, that is, that's for the Dolphins, Jets, and Bears, meaning I don't think that they are in the anything can happen category. To me, they're more than that as far as having, legitimately successful seasons. All 3 of these teams went into just this past season as favorites to be in the playoffs. They were Vegas favorites to be in the playoffs. Now, feels like the bottom has kind of fallen out for all 3 of these teams for various reasons. I think they can bounce back, at least one of them, in some way, shape, or form. High floor, low ceiling. I don't know if our friends at DraftKings will make this bet for me, but I'm very curious of what the odds would be. I feel like all 3 of these teams are guaranteed to win at least 7 games and guaranteed not to win more than 11 games. They all feel like 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe if everything goes right, 11-win teams. You look at Dallas, felt like everything went wrong last year, they won 7. You look at Pittsburgh, felt like everything went right last year, they won 11. Like Seattle right in the middle with 10. That feels to me, again, where they're probably headed for next season, with the real question being for Pittsburgh, who's their quarterback going to be, and for Dallas, what type of coach is Brian Schottenheimer going to be? Stuck in neutral. So I expect very similar seasons from last year, for next year and last to these 4 teams. Now, again, the guys have been free agents, the guys have been in the draft. This is why they're the way too early tiers. But the point being, I like all 4 of these teams. I like, or love in some cases, all 4 of the coaches. I think all 4 of them have proven at least, well, the Chargers and Bucks have proven they have good quarterbacks. The Broncos quarterback had a very good rookie year, and the Vikings have a rookie, we'll see, who's taken right ahead of the Broncos quarterback. I just don't see the upside that some people see, particularly with the Chargers and the Vikings. Bounce back season. So all 3 of these teams, to me, had various levels of disappointing 2024s. So for the Niners, it was disastrous, but we laid it all to the injuries. For the Texans, it was odd because they still won the division. They still won around in the playoffs. But it felt to me like a disappointing year because they had legitimate Super Bowl aspirations. And it's not like they just had one bad playoff game. At no point in the regular season did they look like that team. And similar with the Packers, where there was real, now they still found a way in the playoffs, but you hope that this, in 2025, they can have the year that many people expect them to have in 2024. Fork in the road. The Rams and the Bengals. And by that I mean this. That what are you going to do with Matt Stafford? What are you going to do with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase? For the Rams, I don't know why they seem to want to get out of the Stafford business, but they do. For the Bengals, I know why they are looking at moving on from T. Higgins. Are you going to make sure you don't eventually move on from Jamar Chase? Are you going to pay him? What are you going to do? And are you going to actually be able to address some of those defensive issues? This is a simple tier. Fix the defense. That's it. For the Lions, it's probably just get guys back healthy for the most part, and also replace your great defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn. For Washington, it is poor resources and draft picks into the defense. They weren't bedeviled by injuries. They just don't have the personnel right now on that side of the ball. 2025 or bust. One of these teams got to break through now. And both teams have good coaches. Both teams have great quarterbacks. But especially because you just saw a team manhandle the Chiefs, I think there will be less grace if either or both of these teams run into the Chiefs in the playoffs and get whacked by them. It's not going to be like, well, nobody can do anything about the Chiefs. You just saw a team be up 34-0 on them. Third, first, second, fourth, first, second. That's the Chiefs' finishes in the NFL during Patrick Mahomes' 7 seasons. Now, some smart people think that it's over. They're done. Dynasty over. Colin did a whole obituary for him. Wilds is fathoming. He's not predicting. He's just fathoming world. He's fathoming a world.
I fathom AI.
Exactly.
You know.
He's fathoming. I happen to think that another way to look at it is they just had the single greatest season any two-time defending Super Bowl champions ever had. It ended with a thud, but I think they were writing their obituary a tad too early. And last but not least, very simple, the champs. The committee is fair. They're bringing ostensibly everyone back. They just won 16 of their last 17 games. They blew out the Commanders in the conference championship game. They blew out the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. They are atop the tiers until another game is played, at the very least. That are the offseason tiers, Coach.
Yeah, I'm disappointed that we're doing the tiers just because I wasn't here Monday, so I didn't get to really relish in the end of this season. And
you can have some time.
Take your time, Coach.
I'm still basking.
You were rooting for the Chiefs.
I wasn't.
You love Andy.
I do love Andy.
You love me.
I don't love three-peats.
This guy.
And it's selfish. It was completely selfish. But I didn't get a real chance to enjoy that moment. But I thought you handled it.
Oh, thank you, Coach.
You wore your Eagles tie today.
I did. I just didn't honor it. There's a lot I like about the tiers, and there's some things I think are way off. I mean, stuck in neutral for Minnesota would be incredible. They had a great season. But I'm going to go down the line to where the Jets are. And I'm a big supporter of Aaron Glenn. I love the path that Aaron Glenn took to get back to the Jets. I love the fact that he was a player there, and that he was part of an organization that had a transformation like Detroit did, and the way that he was an assistant coach under Sean Payton and saw that family tree, and he also worked in personnel. So all those things mean that you've got someone in charge that I think can really set a vision that they can build around. But the problem is still the problem. There's no answer at quarterback, and there doesn't seem to be a great solution on the horizon. Where they're drafting, it's going to be challenging to get one of the top guys, and some guys will pop. What are they going to do? Go get Sam Darnold? I mean, they had Sam Darnold, and that didn't work out. So until you solve that problem, then everybody else in the division has a quarterback, and everybody else in the division is ahead. Well, yeah. So we've got 2 legit, and then 1 possible.
Wow, shots at Tua.
And so you have to do every single thing right just to win games in your division when you don't have a viable solution at quarterback. So until they do that, all those other teams, whether it's the Prince, whether it's Atlanta, whether it's Kyler, take your pick, they at least have serious candidates, which to me gives them all a glimmer, as opposed to the Jets, where until you fill that void, it's just this darkness that you got.
So that's fair. I think that now I'm going to sound like the people who were defending the Jets 2 years ago. We have seen this team be competent with terrible quarterback play. Yeah. We did. Like, we saw him win 7 games with Zach Wilson. So the reason I bring that up is I don't know Aaron Glenn at all, but every person I've ever met that knows him seems like believes in him as much as you can believe in a first-time head coach as anybody. I do fervently believe that Aaron Rodgers was a culture negative within the locker room and kind of suck the energy out of the room. So I don't think they have to hit on the quarterback to be a contender. I don't think they have to hit on the quarterback to be mediocre. And where they are on the tiers is, mediocre. So that's why I have them there. Go ahead.
I think they're a little bit away from a glimmer.
Okay, that's fine.
I think the tiers were solid. I get why you have the Chiefs second. That's fair. I mean, they were in the Super Bowl. But I would move. I think the Ravens, Bills, and Chiefs should all be on the same tier. Because I do think the AFC is wide open.
Love it.
And this is the time
Right.
for the Ravens to fly. The Eagles just flew. It's time for the Ravens to fly. Look, Coach, we were talking about this, and the bully has been beaten. And Greg Jennings said it yesterday, he used that term. I believe that the Chiefs' mystique that was hovering over the Ravens and the Bills and even the Bengals, to a lesser degree the Bengals, but still, I think it's gone. I think those teams watched that game and were like, what? And feeling like they missed an opportunity. Because I think when they do play the Chiefs, they were pressing. They felt like, man, we can't make a mistake. They have to be perfect, which you get tight. Mm-hmm. And I think all of that came into play when they played the Chiefs. I don't think that'll be the case going forward.
And when you look at Nick's graph there, after they finished second the last time, they had that Super Bowl hangover, and they finished fourth.
Right, they lost in overtime in the conference championship game, yes.
Well, they finished fourth. Yeah. So how well are they going to?
Well, they're right. They've got questions. Will Kelsey be back? Where would their mindset be? Could there be a hangover? And I think like Philly, we all agreed outside of quarterback and head coach, Philadelphia was more talented than Kansas City. I think that's the same for the Ravens, not so much the Bills. And for the Ravens, look, Lamar, the clock is ticking. I don't know if he'll be motivated by not winning MVP. I think he'll be motivated by not getting to the Super Bowl. But also Derrick Henry. He's 31 now.
Yeah, that's not.
And he'll be in his 10th year. No. Well, I think Henry will be very good next year again. Very few. There have been a handful, but very few running backs are great in their 10th year. Now, maybe we're in a different era where athletes are just playing a little longer. Mm-hmm. But my point is, next year you better get it done with him because you don't know. I think he'll be good next year. You certainly can't count on him being good the next 2 or 3 years. So you got to get it done next year. The defense, which improved throughout the season, I would expect to hit the ground rolling, from the get-go. So I think the Ravens, it could be their year.
It almost sounds like you're saying they're 2025 or bust, which is the tier they were on.
But I'm putting the names. You got the names right. I'm
here
just saying,
is the thing.
Move them up.
So you were talking about the Chiefs' mystique and how that is now pierced. Do the Bills have a mystique?
No. The Bills they beat them. They beat them. But you lose games. If the Chiefs and the Eagles played next week, I don't think you think it will be a blowout like that.
No, but
they lost the game to a good
but I
team,
have the Eagles ranked ahead of the Chiefs.
They did beat 25 points earlier in the season.
Nobody talks about that.
Nobody
talks about what?
That game. And again, America, I would never,
season.
and I mean this sincerely, I would never say question Brou's integrity or even imply that his affinities can be, swayed or purchased. But I will say today he walked into the office carrying a giant crate of Jimmy seafood chips fresh from Baltimore that had been sent to us.
I know I did share. I brought it in for all the producers with the chips. But thank you, Jimmy. They were delicious.
Well, it's now time to check in on the most impressive dynasty of the 21st century.
Of any century, right?
Oh, good point. The New England Patriots. They're down in the bottom of the tiers. Do these go left to right?
They do not.
Yeah,
they better not.
They kind of do.
They do not.
I think the Patriots should be up a few rows at least.
What to where?
Somewhere high.
Why?
Because I'm going to give you 3 reasons.
Okay,
and I'm going to save the best reason for last. Buckle up. Turn the volume up on your podcast. Okay, first of all.
We're a TV show, bro.
Hello, multi-platform. Right, Gianna? And subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Do your bit.
People are waiting. It's like the NFL draft. You can do a bunch of stuff beforehand because people are locked into what I'm going to do. Our Instagram is doing great. In any event, I was Gerard Mayo guy. The one problem was, as he started to fill out his staff, it was hard for me to support guys who were. He was new and everybody else was new, so it was a little bit tricky. Now Vrabel's back and back on the Patriots. He used to play, but as head coach, get this coach, because I think coaching makes a huge deal. A lot of these guys don't. He's just like whatever. But I'm a coaching guy. 3 former head coaches on the staff, 4 if you count interims, and 5 offensive coaches with play calling experience. I thought that was great. So yes, Vrabel's new to the Patriots, but wow, the wealth of information. That's great. That's very valuable. Okay. You know what else is valuable? Money. $124 million in cap space, almost $30 million more than the Raiders, who are second. So we've got a ton of money.
And they made a lot of changes in the front office too, right? Oh.
Before you get to your flourish at the end,
and wait till the flourish.
Just help me, because I'm not as dialed in the Patriots as you. Yeah. So last year, when they got no free agents, they were cash strapped.
We're keeping our powder dry.
Oh, okay. I thought you offered it to a lot of people and they turned it down because their girlfriend said, "I don't want to live in Boston."
Yeah, how'd that go?
I don't know. It's the exact same as it went for the Patriots.
You know what? In New England, here's what I say: the only people that can criticize us are the Philadelphia Eagles, because they're champions. Okay. Everybody else, just like us. Oh, we finished third. If we didn't finish first, we finished dead last. Okay. Finally. I tried to lead the show with this, and the producer's like, no. The bosses were like, no, it's Super Bowl week. I said, I know, but this is huge news. Rappaport dropping this little gem, and it reverberated all around the world. We didn't even get a chance to discuss it. Wow. Drake May has a mythical reputation around the NFL. Like a centaur or something. Like something so powerful, something you would see on Game of Thrones.
Wait, why are we showing the same headline again?
Wow, no, it's different reports.
No, it's not.
What is the
There's an original report. Different branches off the tree.
It's the same.
But different, it's one report, and everyone's like, wow,
one report getting aggregated.
It is mythical. A mythical reputation.
Where?
Why?
Hold on, mythical
What is it?
Who knows? That's mythical. It's like supernatural funk, but a good thing. Holy cow.
This is why.
Have you ever heard mythical reputation?
Right, so now take all this off.
Yeah, with the
Take all this off. Show the whole group, please.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so this is why Brou and I were discussing before the show.
Wow.
An intervention here. Usually interventions are to save someone from themselves. This is not that. This is to save our audience from you. Buddy, you have been invited on so many Patriot podcasts. Do them. I am sure the good people at Nesson would love to stop aggregating my Patriot opinions and instead have you on. And in fact, I bet they'll pay you for a weekly spot.
Mythical reputation.
But this show is not the place for 6 days ago an offhanded Rappaport comment to turn into 5 minutes.
I tried to do it last week. Yeah. You guys said no.
Yes. And now it's gone, out of the ether.
Granted, am I a Patriots fan? Sure.
If
they're like, you know what, Kyle Kuzma has a mythical reputation. I was like, wow,
remind me what
that's
Goes
amazing.
to?
Williams.
If during Mahomes Mountain, coach was like, I'm going to spend my time. Who's the quarterback? It doesn't matter. and did a 3-minute bit on the Williams College quarterback that he should be in Cam Ward's spot purely because his kid goes there and it's special to his heart. We would tell him
if that guy's like,
you're
he's
being
got a
rude to the
mythical
audience.
reputation. It's like something out of your dreams or nightmares or something. It's like a Meek Mill song come to life. I don't even know what it's about.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.